But I do want to ask you whether you notice whether anybody is absent from this list. I'll just go through it slowly again. It's absent.
Is education there? Prof?
Education can expropriate, Chair.
Okay. Oh, good. But in that list, I think James, all right, yeah, you're right. Have you lost the professor? Yeah, we have lost the professor. For now, I see he's gone. Maybe we can just probably just wait a bit while the prof is trying to reconnect. Thanks, Prof. You are back. We lost you. Can you unmute, Prof?
Yes, thank you. I hear you. We were here thinking about who is absent from the list of departments with the power to expropriate.
All right.
Local government.
Yeah, local government we don't have there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll look at that now. Yes,
Yeah.
so another one is where is it now? Another one that is absent is the Minister of Police.
Oh.
So this is so the Municipal Systems Act provides powers of expropriation at the municipal level, which I suppose can take care of some of what local government needs. The Minister of Police doesn't have the power to expropriate, not in terms of the acts applicable. And I suppose that is because there are other powers of that are assigned to the Minister of Police for those kind of powers, but very importantly also police power was the is the ability to protect the freedom and the property of the people. Eminent domain is the power to take the property in the interests of the public. So this is where I would like to leave you, Chairperson. I am going to hand over to Dr. Richard Kramer. And I am also going to try to create a backup source of Wi-Fi in case the problem is on our side. So I will just turn this around so that Dr. Kramer can see.
Thank you, Prof.
There we go. Get back to
the floor is yours, Dr. Kramer.
Good morning, members of the committee. I will now be discussing what exactly can be expropriated, looking at both land as well as other constitutional property. So the starting point, I think, has got to be, what does the bill mention? What property in particular does the bill mention? The bill empowers expropriate property, but what exactly does it mean? So the starting point obviously would be land. The bill has a number of clauses which concern land specifically. For example, a clause which concerns valuation and investigation purposes. There's also a clause which requires consultation with municipalities and other organs of state that may be affected by expropriation of land. And also where land is expropriated, there are additional notice requirements, additional parties who need to receive notices of intention to or a notice of expropriation. And obviously land in the current bill, there are specific clauses related to compensation which specifically relate to land. So land is a form of property which is explicitly mentioned in the bill. And the clauses that concern land are mainly procedural. But ultimately, land is not the end of it. Land is not the limit of the kind of property that can be expropriated in terms of the bill, even if it is perhaps the most important. So that requires us to consider what exactly is meant by property in the expropriation bill. The expropriation bill defines property as contemplated in section 25 of the Constitution. So the bill itself has an open-ended definition of property. It doesn't give us a comprehensive, detailed definition. Instead, it points us to the Constitution. This is like one parent telling their child who's asked them for something to rather go ask their other parent about it. So then we are now pointed to the Constitution. And how does the Constitution define property? All the Constitution does is tell us that property is not limited to land. So ultimately, we have two very open-ended definitions of property. We have, on one hand, the expropriation bill, which tells us that property is property as contemplated in section 25 of the Constitution. What's happening? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you hadn't shared the screen.
I think the screen sharing.
How do I get back? Sorry, everyone, I didn't realize the screen share had been turned. The computer was passed to me.
We also neglected that because we are very audible. We could hear, we could follow you.
Okay. What can you see now? Yes.
We can see now.
Okay, you can see the screen now. So let me just go back and show you my previous slide. So that was the previous slide dealing with land. And now we've come to this open-ended definition of, we have this open-ended definition of property in both the expropriation bill and the Constitution. The expropriation bill just points us to the Constitution, which itself simply defines property as not being limited to land. So ultimately, we don't have a comprehensive, detailed definition of what exactly is property for both the expropriation bill as well as the Constitution. So that means we now need to start thinking about what exactly is constitutional property. The easy example is physical property, which aligns with the private law, property law definition of property, which
we sort of lost you again, Prof. There is an intermittent disruption.
Switching on the audio on this side. Maybe you can continue talking.
Can you hear me now?
I suspect that,
This one's just the connection.
yes,
died.
yes, you are better now.
The screen is still shared.
Yes.
Screen shares died. Try to switch over to my laptop.
I don't think it will make a big difference.
Is everyone else? Yeah, we're not hearing anyone else at the moment either.
Yes, we can continue because anyway, we have the presentation. If the
Connection is good. Let's go to Eduroute and see what's better.
Doc, are you still there?
Recording in progress.
Can you hear me again?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. We can see the screen. You have disappeared again.